We play.
We fight.
We conquer.
Welcome back to the Freak Show, where our one rule is, that's just what the Danish want you to think. I am your host, Bumpy McSquiggums. We're returning to Core Crossing. We only had just begun our adventure in the very last episode. We did character creation, party formation, and kind of got our feet wet and explored around and did some stuff. But we didn't get into too much of the game. Our very first battle went horribly wrong, by the way. But that's okay. So, let's take a look around here. I decided to play a little bit off camera, not on this save, just on my own, to get a little bit more familiarized with various different things. There is a very helpful tutorial area in the game to give you more information about a variety of different things. In general, there's item types, skills that you learn through AP. We know about that. Skill types, there's elemental, healing, physical, special, effect. Special and effect are different. Status ailments for effects, specials, dealing damage without properties, so not physical or elemental. Then you have support skills that either boost or lower stuff, so at times, and of course passives that are always active, as long as you meet certain conditions. And then we have the stats, what they all are and what they mean. So HP, health points, of course, CP or cast point, and or like mana, SP, whatever you want to call it, CP in this case. Attack is attack, determines normal attack, skill damage, defense, normal damage reduction from normal skills. And code determines aura skill damage, which I assume is similar to magic. That's what I'm getting out of this. Whereas will is the reduction from aura skills. And then we also have flow, which is your essential, your initiative, your speed of your character. That determines the battler's turn order. And finally, luck affects critical hit rate and ailment susceptibility. So the higher your luck in this case, the more likely you are to resist a specific effect coming your way. The higher your flow, the more you can hustle. No, the higher your flow, sorry, it was a terrible joke. The higher your flow, the quicker you are in combat. So the faster your turn comes up, the more you're able to disrupt battles and combat and all sorts of stuff. And then, of course, we have sharp, launch, and blunt. So that's basically slicing. Blunt is just hitting stuff, crushing it, and whatnot. And then launch is projectiles, like bows. And then enemies may be weak to resist, nullify, reflect, or absorb one or more physical properties. Exploiting an enemy's physical weakness will lower its immunity, making it susceptible to status ailments. So a whole bunch of cool stuff there, and then there's other things here, but by and large, those are just things that were kind of important that weren't necessarily 100% explained. Like the stats specifically, I understood some of them, but I can only really guess at some of the others. So, all right, let's get into some learning here. We'll go with Kime. She is our frontline smacker, attacker, whacker person. So she's got Power Slash, which lowers attack, one that lowers defense, one that lowers in code, one that lowers will, one that lowers flow, and then as enemies are fallen, the more damage this one does. We did that, and if we defeat a target, our attack goes up. And then we also have a taunt for physical attacks, increases our defense and kind of makes folks want to attack us. And then a taunt for aura attacks, increases our will, which would be our resistance to aura-based attacks. So I think those are kind of important to get, so we're gonna get one of those. Then we have our Bushi and sharp, weak damage, extra damage if first turn. So useful as an opening gambit, but Cures ailments, and then what we have, only standing. So for the last person alive, I believe is what that means. Our attack and defense goes up a lot. I mean, I guess this is fine. Though I feel like landing an attack with the potential to stun an opponent just feels better. This might not be terrible, as this, I think it's a self-cast ability. It will cure ailments on self, which also removes debuffs, and it increases our attack. So it's a buff. I think I'm going to go that route. Like, this has potential to do more damage, while this has the potential to crowd control, which is kind of important, right? All right, then over here we have ourselves our enchanter. This is just a straight attack defense. So each of the stats, this is aim and critical hit. And then we have, I don't know what pot means. Passive using Saida and Sighten buffs. Buff skills will increase HP. This is a weak damage attack for magic. I think I'm gonna get this just for now. And you see these are all Saida, and then we go into Saitan down here, which are the higher variants of the same skills for a greater cost. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure what aim and I get the idea, concept of what aim and crit do. It's like I don't know what pot is. Is it supposed to be like protection? But that would be like PROT? I don't know. That one I'm not sure about. It's fine. We'll get there. All right, restores small amount of HP. Then we have cures ailments. Some holy damage, removes debuffs and rapture, and removes non-passive buffs and beneficial states, so we can cast that on a foe. I'm gonna get the ailment reduction or removal skill. All right, and then finally we're back here. We got toxic aim. Didn't really do much. Launch, weak damage, lowers aim, finish bonus CP up if we kill somebody with that. It looks like that's kind of the same thing all around. I think we're gonna do the stun. The idea of being able to just stop people is pretty important. I also think that after we get this, we should probably go and get bow hit. That way, if we know someone is weak against blunt damage and strong against our launch damage, we'll have an alternative to actually attack them with. So that is what I am going for. And I believe that is it. We're back to our guardian, so. Okay. Let's continue our adventure. I am feeling optimistic. All right, we got a Remy drop, which I believe reduces, removes the like debuffs and horrible things. All right, we got an aura nucleus. All right, and we can talk. Feeling lost? Use the minimap to see where you're going. You can check what each icon represents through the tutorial menu. All right, so far we've more or less... Now we really haven't explored everything yet. All right, before we continue onward, we'll head back. Let's see what we're up against now. All right, come on, miss your attacks. Did not miss the attack at all. Let's go with the skill stun on this one. Okay, we got the stun. She's got to do a couple of things, honestly, but we're gonna go here. All right, and then we have the ability to up our overall damage. We'll go with Arzla here. All right, I knew the heal was coming out. Fine. Damage has been increased. They're not really strong against blunt attacks, it looks like, but they're strong against whatever the piercing slash attack is. And, well, I say strong. They're vulnerable against blunt. And they're not vulnerable against the others. Okay, and then we do the heal of the ailment off of you. And then I'm just gonna bonk you. Oh, I didn't mean to actually kill you there. Alright, you don't like getting slashed. You don't care about most of the other stuff. Alright, so simple and easy. A quick battle. I know what the purple walls are at this point, but we'll wait to see what those are for right now. And then you guys will get to understand. Alright, we got about 2 more steps, maybe 1 before we're in combat. There it is. There's 3. There's 3 steps. Alright, you're gonna bind. Nope, resisted and missed. It's a win-win. And neither one is particularly weak against that, but that's fine. Oh, this doesn't cost any CP. That's interesting. Alright, I am going to heal up. Now, one of the cool things, and something that I do appreciate, I stated it before, like when we level up, we get the heal, right? I think that's a great thing. Well, not only do we heal, but we get our CP back. So we're actually able to utilize all of our magic and stuff if we are at least able to space it out to the point where we do a level up, because then we get it all back. And we're basically like we just rested at an inn at that point. Except I don't think it cures stuff like poison or what have you. So that does allow us to be a bit more, I don't know, just attack, like just use our abilities more. Because we don't have to worry about, oh, well, we have to do this until we return all the way back to base. Or we use a bunch of items to restore our CP and all that. So it does make things pretty nice. We have 20 to go. And once we get the 20 experience, we are guns to be dunced. Alright. There we go. 1500 Zen. And it looks like there's somebody to talk to directly ahead of us here. A monster looked over, or sorry, an event happening. Apologies. It quickly fled. So nothing terrible happened to us there. And we're too slow at this stage, but as we level up, our flow is going to increase. Is one of our stats, and that is going to be upon a cost. Alright, gonna stun you. I mean, it's gonna attack this guy. Bonk you, and bonk you again, I guess. And then we go after this guy. There it is. Sounded like she said hairy mustard. I'm pretty sure she didn't, but maybe. Maybe she likes hairy mustard. I don't know what that means. Sounds awful. Alright. Potentially triple poison coming out here. Hopefully not. Okay. It's unfortunate. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and stun you. I'll bonk you. Now, if we don't kill you, that's a problem. So, the mushroom's gonna attack again, yeah. Alright, and now we go with item, and we go with the anima melt. Bloop, you're back. Yay, go you. Hopefully she gets strong enough that it's no longer an issue. We knew the mushroom man was gonna heal, at least I did. If somebody's missing like 70% or like 30% or more health, it does seem the mushroom tends to heal that creature, that enemy, or to themselves if it's them. Alright, so everybody leveled up. It's very unfortunate that we couldn't survive and had to use an item. But as you see, we're getting stat upgrades across the board. Flow is now 10. Flow is now 12. Looks like the flow is only increasing by 1 each time, but it will make the stuff that we're fighting a little bit easier. This will be a bit quicker. We'll be able to respond to them better. Alright. I mean, we could be technically heading back at this point if we were so inclined, but we are not inclined. Alright, battlation begins now. Please don't poison anyone. Stop attacking her. Why are you always attacking her constantly? I hates it. I hates it so much. That's only on yourself, I think. Alright, so. Just obliterated that one. Alright, big hit. Heal. We'll do the heal of the poison. And you know what? I'm going to buff you. Even though you're not necessarily our strongest person. So we didn't get... Okay, maybe it's under 50%. So we didn't get him quite to the level where the attack was going to happen. Or the heal was. Bonk. And one more bonk. Nope. He'll heal though. Should have taken the time to actually heal, but we didn't. And You guys are not wrong. We should have probably thrown our AP into the mix here. So let's do that. Okay, for will taunts, sure. To grab that, it just makes the most sense. Oops, excuse me. Not sure what to do with this. Having an actual attack isn't terrible either, instead of just only having buffs. I mean, the buffs are going to be great, but for now, we'll see. I need to save the next AP so I can get a better attack skill. Oh, this is an all allies boost. That's fascinating. Okay. Same thing. Can induce dazzle. I think that's probably fine. She'll need 2 AP. We'll use 1 here. And we're gonna go with the bow hit. That's a blunt. Okay. Leveled up and ready to go. We could probably use Hamlin's healing ability to heal the team if we felt that was necessary. All right, so what is this purple wall? Well, we can check. It's a hidden door that you have to get to the other side to actually access. And now we're going to get into fight. Oh god, here comes the poison. Every time. Alright, we're going to do extra damage if it's first turn. That was a lot of extra damage. Alright, skill. We're going to remove our poisons because she also has the... Nope, that wasn't her. Oh. Well, awkward. Okay, guess we'll throw that at it. Okay. She's the one that has the extra poison removal. That works. We have the Remy drop we can use as well, in fact, and it's super cheap. I think I will use that. I think it's... Here's ailments. Yeah. Okay, no more poison. And I think once again we'll use the skill. Now, where I was playing around on my own to, again, refamiliar, or get a little bit more comfortable and familiar with what I'm doing and moving around and whatnot, I actually ran, instead of with the Guardian, I ran with the Paladin. And having that second person able to heal is pretty nice. I'm not going to lie. I do like it quite a bit. But I definitely think that this group has the potential to work out. It's just going to be quite different. Alright, so once again, we found ourselves another door, which are now like open shortcuts we can utilize. Alright, not bad. I just immediately poisoned. Alright, that's fine. Oh, you don't like getting shot, do you? Let's go with the stun then. Boop. Alright, bye-bye eggplant monster. At least the poison did 0 damage, it just poisoned. And now we have a way of curing that without having to use items all the time. She is running a little low on overall CP, but I think we're fine in general. Let's try this again. Yeah, it's okay. Alright, I think it's going to be relatively hurt. No, not really that much. Alright, let's see what our basic attack does here. It's pretty underwhelming, honestly. We will eventually head back to town, but I'm not quite ready to do that just yet. Alright, we're going to get into combat in a minute. Anytime you're ready. There it is. All right. Okay. First turn, extra damage. Bomb. It looks like that hurt us, maybe. Not sure if that heal actually hurt us, but it might have. Alright, I'm gonna attack the mushroom guy, so he's definitely going to do some healing up on himself. And then we will slowly bonk away at this guy. Get a shot on you. Still a little more healing. Nope, not on you. Oops. Well, that was a waste. I mean, intended. Ha ha ha. Alright, there's the heal. You're done now. So are you. We're fine. It's fine. No big deal. Alright, how close to leveling up are we? Or not very close. Alright. Hopefully we can mitigate some of this damage that's been coming our way. But there's a potential no. Melodina is one of the several large towns in Eden Gaia. All the large towns are named after the Zaints who defeated the Akujins in the Dusk Dawn Wars centuries ago. Oh, well. When you put it like that, I mean, I don't know. Alright, another door opens. Another way is, well, as the door is open. Okay. Yay, double misses. We love double misses. They are our favorites. Alright, big hit onto you. Bonk onto you. That won't do enough, but it was there. There was an effort made. Alright, simple enough. We're 60 away. The only path forward is here. I wouldn't hate the idea of having a back button that didn't just 360 you, but oh god, I understand. And I don't hate the way they have it either, so. Alright, we're taking this thing down. Stun. Skill, vacuum, we need physicals, and it buffs our defense. She is very, very, very unhealthy right now. Skill, we are going to go ahead and buff you. And theoretically, we're going to be fine. It looks like it's going to go for a few turns at least. Alright, skill, no. Okay. There we go. And now everybody throws what they've got at this one. And it's enough. 15 there. Not too shabby. This is clearly the way forward. Oh, but hold on. Ava is brimming with confidence. Hold it right there. Look at what we have here. Fresh blood. I'm Sheila, one of the Core's guards. Nice to meet you. Monsters get stronger as you go further into the core. I'm getting tired of hauling beat-up trial goers back to town. Prove to me that you're ready for the next floor. I need you to show me 3 tail tip from defeating Longjaws, and I'll let you through. And no cheating by buying them from town or other trial goers. I better get going if you want that awesome guild license. I think we have them already. Wait, you brought back the 3 tail tip already? Alrighty, well then, you may head to the next floor. By the way, you can sell monster drops to the shops for Zen. Certain monster drops can be used to make handy things at shops, stuff like magical items and accessories. See you around. Sheila took off. Well, thank you, Sheila. I appreciate your candor and trying to keep us safe-ish. Alright, I think we're going to actually make our way back to the town. We'll probably have one, maybe two battles along the way. Alright, poisons potentially are coming out. They did not. Did you avalanche me? What did you do there? Still not doing much. And maybe that the ranger is more of a... We'll utilize her more in a crowd control manner as opposed to pure DPS. But she seems to be lacking quite significantly in the DPS factor. Alright, our healer's locked up, but it don't matter. Because victory is ours. Technically, 2 more fights of that caliber will put us in the next level, which I don't know that I necessarily want. Let's actually return. I sort of want the next level, but I also don't, and the reason for that is because it'd be nice to be able to go get into a couple of fights where we could utilize whatever we want, level up, get fully healed, and then continue. Hey there. Alright, we're leaving. Take care. I'm going to go to the end just to trigger whatever's here. First time here in Melodina. It is. It is. We have a special lodging discount for trial goers. Welcome. Alright, so here's something that would be nice to see somewhere. There's no indication as to how much it costs to rest. So I have it tells us that it restores the party, which is great, but it doesn't tell us how much it costs to rest. And I think it's fairly substantial, if I recall correctly. So that would be a nice thing to have added in there. The apothecary we're familiar with. I do want to see what we can craft. We can craft 2 of these. I like the idea of that, because those are definitely something that we use. I guess I'll do this, maybe. You know what, I'm going to hold on to it. We're going to leave. Alright, we'll come back to you in a minute. We're going to go to the gear shop now. Welcome. Alright, shop. Oh, hold on. Let's craft. Let's see what we can craft. We can craft a Gaia ring, which gives us earth resistance. I don't think that's something I care about, so I'm not going to do it right now. I mean, I'm sure down the line I'll care, but right now I do not. Let's go to sell. It looks like these are sellable. This has a star. It says it's a synthesis mineral. All of the bottom ones are. So I think those we don't sell. I think we can sell these, though. Not that we're making much from the selling of those. Alright. And I don't want to sell that, even though we could. Alright, so it looks like we now have the option to buy various different weapons and so on and so forth. Her attack is pretty underwhelming. It is compared to the other folk attacking. I mean, they're both attacking... Let's say 19. Let's look at the big one here. 22 and 21, right? So we're looking at 16 and 15 are the attacks. Versus her attacking at 10. That's kind of terrible. We don't have anybody with any of those weapons. We get some hand brooms, which would increase their attack, but eh. We have no Glovians here. What I don't think would be terrible is maybe getting a couple of these things. In fact, I think I wouldn't mind getting 2 magician cloaks. I wouldn't mind getting 2 vests. And maybe a sword? Can we afford the sword? We can. I'll get the sword for our ninja girl. Our shinobi, I think it is. I'm not sure if that's what they were. Alright, let's go to equip. So... Or bushi. Sorry, that's what it is. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to give you that. Okay, and we're going to go here. We're going to give you the Associate's vest. Okay. I'm not really going to mess with our frontline person right now. Wait, what just happened? Oh, I optimized. It's not really what I wanted to do. But that's fine. I think you get the Magician's Cloak. I think that's fine. Softwood Stick you already have. Oh, did it optimize everybody across the board? No. I gotta stop. I keep going to optimize, and I don't mean to do that. Magician's Cloak. Oh, I didn't get the wands. That's right. Sorry, I thought I got 2 wands, and I got mostly armor. And you can get the Associate's vest. Okay. I think that's it for us. So technically, Kime has the lowest overall gear, while everybody else is a little bit better off. With Arsla being our most powerful at this point. That's fine. I think, if I recall correctly, it's... Wow, time really flies in this game. If I recall correctly, we could sell some stuff. There's nothing that we can really get right now, so it's fine. But, again, if I recall correctly, level 2 is quite intense and a bit much for us, so we're probably not going to go there right away. Alright, so there's some sparkles you'll see on the mini-map. They are a little hard to notice, but they're there. You can see them. I can't show you with the cursor, but directly in front of me, you see the sparkles in front of me. You can see them on the mini-map if you look over there. And then if we make a right and we head all the way up, there's one up there, and then there's one on the way to the exit. There's also an event behind us, so let's get this first. And then we'll go to the event. But first, battle. Okay, only one person got poisoned. So we gotta make sure that we fix the poisoned individual. Don't think that's enough to... Yeah. There we go. And bonk it. Yeah. We did it. We're heroes. Alright, what's going on? A creature appeared. Threw some liquid over the party and left. Hey, our HP got restored. It's a random effect every time. So it could be something terrible. It could be something totally great. It really depends. Alright, we are going to try to get to the sparkles and level up before we end the episode. I know we'll be running a little later than we usually do, but that's fine. Okay, no poisons. That's the important thing. Taking this thing out. Skill. Still super weak, but we confused it at least, so it's something, I guess. Let's try hitting him with the dazzle thing. Didn't dazzle him. Skill. A little bit of damage there, and who are you gonna hit? Hit Ava on the side. And she's gonna hit you back. Take you out too. Alright, there we are. We're 12 away from leveling. Alright. We'll be getting into at least one more combat before we break it all off here. But we made it to the Sparkle. And again, I don't plan to go to floor 2 necessarily super quick. Probably going to gain one more level before I do that. I'm also holding back on spending the AP. once we level up. So, like, and when I say one more level, I mean after the one we're about to gain. Say, I think she just hits hard enough for that to work anyway. Yeah, we'll hit you with some dazzling abilities, and maybe enough with this. Enough. All right, the level up is here. No, it's not. We're one away. Oh, that's disappointing. All right, it's gonna be right here. We level up. Okay, no poison. I'm okay with that. You're dead. You are slightly wounded. You are more wounded. You are the most wounded. You are also dead. Alright, level ups. So I do like the 5 HP, and then, again, various stats throughout. 2 to attack is always nice to see. A little bit of extra willpower, so some defense to the magic casting. And luck went up pretty good. Luck's going up here. I wish flow would increase a little bit more with certain characters, but that's okay. We only got 4 HP, but that puts us over 100 with you, which is nice. 2 attack for you as well. Okay. And then here, 4 HP. You're in the 70s, high 70s, but still. Attack going up a little bit doesn't matter too much. +3 to your magic and your magic resist, which is nice. And your luck went up by 3. Fairly decent level up there. And then let's see. A little bit less impressive with the 2 and the 2. We did get 2 CP up as well, which isn't bad. And you're in 81 overall HP. And finally, a little Ava at the very end here. 5 HP up, which is nice. Our attack went up by 2, everything else by 1, except for luck, which is 2. We'll take it. We'll take it. Anyway, guys and gals, that is pretty... I never saw this before. That is pretty much going to do it for this episode. In the next episode, we will crawl through. Let's see what's on the other side of this crawl space. I just was looking at the map while I was doing the outro there, and I'm like, I see something that doesn't connect to anything. So, very curious to see where this takes us. Anyway, folks, that's going to be a tale for another time. Till the very next episode, I've been your host, Bumpy McSquigums. Thank you so much for stopping by the Freak Show. We play, we fight, we conquer.